Semnandeni namhlanje. Come on, let's hit those hands. Sure. Ladies are in the house. Yeah. My jazz. Chip, 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 chip. Woo!
I went to school in Swaziland. That's where myself and Jimmy met.
Lucas and I, we grew up together. We stayed in the same township.
A friend of mine was a pianist and I was a bass player. So he said there's a guitar player who was also trying to form a band. So they introduced us to Jimmy. That's how we met. Then we formed a band called Stretch.
Me and Jim, we met in Swaziland. We used to play in different bands. I used to play with a band called Surprise. He used to play with Lucas. And we met when we had a competition that we won, actually. John and Son, we worked together from the first project that we did called Loading Zone. We used to back Brenda Fassi. Miriam McCabe became a backing band for Sipho Mabuse and Brenda Fassi. And we learned a lot of things from them.
I met Jimmy in the early 1990s when he first came to Cape Town with his band Loading Zone. I remember when they came to Cape Town, they were the hottest band on the scene, and we all used to flock to the clubs where they played, you know, and just watch them. And the club would be filled with musicians rather than people.
We always had a dream of working with Jimmy. He was like one of the role models. And it was so bad that we even would, like, at church functions, we would play Jimmy's songs.
For this recording, he has some of the most happening musicians in the country today. It's like a national team, you know, from the left to the right. Everybody's a strong musician.
You know, we've done a lot of concepts. I've worked with Salif Keita, Angela Kijo, a lot of different musicians. But for this concept, we were thinking more, you know, to try and, you know, do something different than what we've been doing.
The project is very, very special to us because, you know, Jimmy is so versatile. He plays music with different styles and different influences. And, you know, to bring a guy like Andy Narell on stage with steel drums, you know, who really lives around the Caribbean islands, and being able to fit into this band and, you know, fit into the music is really special.
I think Jimmy's approach is very organic. It's very kind of, at least what I've seen today. There's been a lot of attention towards, like, feeling where it needs to go, you know, and just making adjustments according to what's happening at the moment.
If you look at the band, you will see like there's like a lot of, how can I say, on their own rights, music directors like Lucas Komalo, the bass player, he's a producer in his own right. Jonas Son, he's a music director and he's got his own band, and Camilo is working with a lot of people.
Cedric Ken is my neighbor, but he's South Africa's ambassador for Spanish guitar, the flamenco guitar. And we were looking, you know, for that influence as well to the music.
A guy like the percussionist Tomasito Diane, you know, who comes from a Cuban influence in terms of his percussion playing, I think is really great and special and just adds to the different elements of, you know, the music.
Bola J. We call him, he's like our father, the grandfather of this band. We thought it was a machine doing the whole percussive stuff that he was doing. I mean, the whole talking drum. And so what we did is, after we recorded Tonota, one of the songs in the studio. So I said, hey man, guys, this guy should come to SA, man. This guy should come to South Africa and we can make some beautiful sounds.
What's happening in this band, there are 4 drummers. It's really exciting because what they're doing is they're fusing these rhythms from South Africa and Mozambique with a lot of West African rhythms. There's a talking drum, a dundun, and a djembe a lot of the time. And that's real West African drumming, and it's a really interesting fusion, and they're grooving like crazy, you know. So it makes it real fun to play.
To gel, to bring together all these cultures, you know, it gives us a broader sound. But also, it's not just a project which we're planning to record and just, let it. We intending to travel with this project. So Universal Records, they came on board and said, listen, put it together and let's take it from there.
Actually, I love all the tracks, but my favorite track is going to be Point of View, because that was the track that was most played, and it took us to different places in the world. And actually, this long overdue. We're supposed to do this long time, so I think it's about time that you do this. People are waiting for this DVD.
The inspiration behind Point of View. I used to stay in Berea, and I saw, I don't know if it was 3 or 4 domestic ladies with their uniform, but walking dogs to the park. And one of them started to dance, and I was laughing, just looking at them. And I started to sing, just to try to imagine what she was dancing, because I was like, that whole picture, it just, made me to have my point of view about what I saw, the people walking the dogs to the park.
My favorite song, I think, would be The Man Who Lost His Shadow. It kind of, the song signifies, time in his life, when he lost his identity, he came through a difficult patch, and he's like the phoenix rising again from the ashes.
My favorite song would be it will be the first track on the DVD, which is called The Man Who Lost His Shadow. And it's like all experiences coming together, and like Camilo, who's self a great composer, so it's just ideas coming together and into one song. It just makes it brilliant.
My sentiments about the ones in the village. In Africa, still today, you find schools under the tree, and you find a lot of schools with no electricity. And most of our leaders are from the village, okay? But once people are in town or they're in power, it's all gone, they forget about the village, where they come from.
Chibi has got a few albums, and almost all of them won awards. That just proves how strong the albums are. So each album is packed with good songs. So to choose one will be very difficult. You'll have to give me a couple of weeks to go and think.
Before I think about composing or putting a project, I look at Africa in general as one country. So if I do a song, it will be nice for me if it can appeal to West Africa, East, everywhere in the continent. Because that's how I think. And having all these elements, and we all, from here, it's like, we can represent continent with one sound, with one project.